G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a Robocop Auto 9 pistol. It's the pistol that Robocop uses, so it's fitting enough that my robotics expert Angel is using this thing, I think. So this is a standalone weapon, uses the deliver animations, and it's got a decent amount of customization to it. Does 90 damage with standard parts compared to 54 with a 10mm pistol and 75 with the stronger deliverer. And this thing does use 9mm rounds, so that doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? And you can get this weapon and the bullets by going to the chemistry workbench and finding the Robocop pistol thing there. And you can craft this thing and its bullets. And if you want to increase this thing's ability to be modified, make sure you bring your frag grenades, because there's a few modifications that you will actually require frag grenades for you to put on, but we'll get to that when we get to that. This thing can be modified both in automatic and semi-automatic fashion, so we can go advanced receiver for 156 damage. Very nice. And we've also got a powerful auto here for less damage but higher DPS thanks to the rate of fire. We'll leave this on the advanced receiver for now, and we'll chuck on an improved barrel. Obviously it's going to require a little bit of materials and perks to get that done, but it's a general improvement and overall improvement. Doesn't really look like it's reflected in the mesh of the weapon, but you know, better stats, good performance boost. For some reason the sharpshooter's grip takes away something. Maybe it removes a keyword or something that'll, you know, that gives it more damage, or rather these grips are a little bit more powerful. Maybe these grips have damage assigned to them, but we lose a lot of damage if we chuck on the sharpshooter's grip, so we'll just go for the comfort grip there. And here we go. So you'll need the frag grenades to make this thing fire explosive bullets, and that does 228 damage with the large quick ejector magazine. And again, these modifications aren't reflected in the mesh of the weapon, which is unfortunate, but yep, if you've got a bunch of frag grenades, you can make this thing explosive. Just bring Demo Expert as well. Moving on, we've got iron sights and glow sights. Now, curiously, the iron sights as they are look like they're glowing enough. We'll attach these, and it doesn't look like it's changed. And now we can chuck a muzzle on this if we want to, which there's nothing there. I guess it's integrated, right? But that gives us 196 damage with the advanced receiver, so that's pretty good. And a legendary slot is there if we need it. This is the material slot though. The weathered steel is just for fun, so if you want to have a bit of fun with this thing, you can chuck it on that. I'll be using both of these, so we'll see what they're like in first person in a moment. We've also got damage modifiers, and if you feel like it's doing too much, you have the option to drop that down a little bit, which is good for balancing. If you think it's too powerful, or you're just a damn masochist and want everything to stomp you in the balls whilst you play, you can reduce this thing's power. But if you want to breeze through everything and make the Commonwealth your doormat, you can chuck this up to 100% more damage, or you could leave it as the modder intended at 196 damage with all of the related perks. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll grab an automatic one and a non-suppressed one of both automatic and semi-auto variety, and we'll start shooting stuff. Okay, so here we are in Gunner's Plaza with Robocop's sidearm gun thingy, and we're about to lay down some Commonwealth Justice law on these guys. The kind of law where you just shoot stuff and you don't really ask no questions at all. This is what the Robocop gun looks like in third person. It's a little bit bigger than the Deliverer, bit smaller than the 10mm, so bridges the gap in terms of its size, I suppose, and in terms of power, it shatters them both. So this is the suppressed one. There are custom sounds for unsuppressed, but going silent but deadly here, it's going to sound exactly like a 10mm pistol, and same with the automatic variant with a suppressor, so nothing really new here. We'll just quickly take out these gunners, and now we're in danger, so there's no real reason to use a suppressor anymore now, is there? I've marked all the ones that don't have suppressors with the grey paint job, just the fun one. And that's what this thing sounds like in unsuppressed. It's actually kind of cool, and they kind of doubled down on exaggerating this thing's power, because I've actually noticed that there's like a big old flash when the bullet hits stuff, and it kicks up a lot of dust and everything. So it uses the minigun projectiles, and with a beefy sound like that, it actually feels like this thing has a lot of power behind it. Now, whether that's true for a pistol of 9mm caliber, well, it's up to you to decide whether that's actually realistic or not, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say probably not. We'll go along and use our our cop gunners a Glock here because you can, and like I said, same sounds as the old 10mm pistol, but it's going to be very effective because it can spam sneak attack criticals. Doesn't really matter if we don't get our hit in because we're firing that many bullets. That person over there has an explosive MG, so let's fight explosives with explosives. You'll notice that we're not firing the usual legendary explosive bullets. No, 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 no. This is like frag grenade explosions. Hit scan, frag grenade explosions. And it knocks people down. It ragdolls them. The words overpowered comes to mind, so, you know, if you want to sacrifice 10 frag grenades for as many explosions as you have bullets, then go right ahead. That's the sprinting animations for this one, by the way. The bashing animations is a classic pistol whip with a grunt that happens before you even swing. Maybe the grunt wind-up takes a little bit of strength and focus to, you know, get yourself into the gun slapping mood, you know? The good thing about this thing is it's got plenty of punch in it that doesn't feel like it's doing too badly, even in 50% damage penalty, very hard difficulty where everything's a goddamn bullet sponge. So, yeah, this thing feels like it's got plenty of punch, and the aforementioned things that I talked about before, being the beefy sounds of this thing and the literal minigun explosive projectile things where they have like a muzzle flash where the bullet lands. This thing feels like it's got plenty of power to it, and you know, it's perfect for any Robocops out there. If you're doing a Robocop build, what would that look like? You can't have the Cyborg perk. Was that in New Vegas as well? It was definitely in Fallout 3. It gave you 10 damage threshold, or a damage threshold? Resistance. And then like an extra bit of energy weapons too. Ooh, maybe they should add an energy counterpart to this. Right, there's Swan over there. I want to go kick his ass. But I've noticed something. If you've got the classic holstered weapons thing, you holster it on your leg like that, like Robocop does. But I'm pretty sure he's got, like, he conceals it with, like, armor plating. He's got, like, a robot leg or something. I've watched very little Robocop media. He was in, like, a video game with the Terminator once, and the Terminator was a bad guy because, of course, killer robots are always bad. But the one with the guy's brain, he's the good one. Because reasons. Anyways, who have we got over here? 3 friendlies, but not for long, mate. So we'll go and give him the old stealth gunslinger treatment. We'll spam the trigger as fast as we possibly can. He's probably going to get aggroed to those blokes, isn't he? Or they might have disintegrated. That's equally possible. I think he's given up at this point, and I wouldn't blame him because, well, like 3 magazines? That's some power right there. Hell yeah. Welcome to I'm surrounded by raiders and I must shoot my way out. Now these guys are pretty much a non-threat because we took out a bunch of, you know, bloodthirsty merc gunner people before, and these guys are nowhere near as strong as those blokes are. Might consider getting a raider overhaul for one of my mod playthroughs because I've heard those are pretty brutal. It actually makes raiders a threat again. I think there's supposed to be a difference between how difficult it is to fight the gunners and the raiders because thematically, you know, they're supposed to be high-end mercenary dudes. Like, they replaced Talon Company, but, you know, they allow women in there, so it's not a sausage fest, so, you know, that's good. Did they all come out of that vault? Because they're all, like, trained to be super soldiers. That's a cool touch. I like how they gave him a proper backstory this time. I think that guy's head was floating, and I can't be bothered shooting any more of those raiders, but if they happen to show up... Nope, just the Milo Queen. Let's go for a face and let Concentrated Fire do its thing, because I've neglected using that so far, but look at all those action points. It's like I'm using the Deliverer. Really, I'm getting sneak criticals there. Well, that's helpful. Yeah, you big drama queen, just fall over already. Drama queen, sorry, no pun intended. Righto. Our next target is a slightly scarier crabby dude, and he's got a lobster next to him, so we'll shoot him. Can we actually get a shot on him in VATS? We can actually, with fairly decent accuracy. So we'll just let Concentrated Fire do its thing. We managed to get a sneak critical there again and again. Hell yeah, go Concentrated Fire. You're doing really well here. I'm thinking we might need something a little bit more explosive next time, just to spice it up a little bit. And ooh, here comes a spit. Look where it lands. Gonna land exactly where I was. Now that's some accuracy. Get that guy being a quarterback footballer man and tossing your footballs to a guy who runs to the end zone. That's how American football works, right? American sports are weird, man. Actually, I like baseball. Baseball's really cool. American football, don't understand it. NASCAR, I know that's like a big thing in the South and everything, but watching cars drive around in circles, eh. I mean, we've got Bathurst over here in the V8 supercars, which is, you know, it's pretty awesome. We've got a lot cooler stuff going on than driving around in circles. We've got geological oddities, as some guy once called it, so, you know. Also, the race goes for hours and you can get pissed drunk by the end of it. Good times. Alrighty, so the fight's on for realsies now, and what I might do is just slip into Aqua Girl 2. Yeah, you got no idea where I am. Oh Jesus, my luck can walk on water there. That's blasphemy. I cannot let you get away with this. Ah, he's after me. Satan's crab. Alright, let's give this guy a full auto dose of explosive bullets. Oh, it ragdolls him. Well, may as well crit him. Oh, look, there's a slide that goes back. That's interesting. Okay, so this is kind of awkward now because we can't possibly lose this fight. We've taken all the tension out of the battle. Well, we might as well just sit here and just VATS it. This is probably the easiest way to cheese headshots. How's everyone's day? Everyone doing alright? Tired. Luckily, this gun wasn't a huge drag to use, so we'll be okay. And I'm gonna go over to this thing and probably try to get some sneak criticals, maybe. Ah, screw it. We'll go for some more VATS headshots. But this time, none of this nonsense with where you going, Mylurk, mate? Yeah, none of this nonsense with ragdolling. I don't want to toss him over to the Pridwin, because then the Brotherhood would step in and it won't be my kill anymore. Ah, Escape Artist has worked for like a second there. We got like a few shots of a critical of the sneak variety. He's coming in for a high five. Honestly, I'm not going to let him. You just keep filling his face full of lead, Lily. There you go. Alrighty, so I think I've demonstrated the power of this, but I've got a bone to pick with a giant goddamn wasp, so we'll be right back. Okay, so what you have down there is the Stingwing Terror, one of the most frustrating monsters to fight because, well, he's just very, very hard to kill. He's very quick and very agile, and, you know, if he gets close to you, he'll just keep stinging you until you die very quickly. He's not a dumb idiot like Swan, so hopefully, we kill him first time. That's the plan, and I've got a really cunning plan too. It involves using a stealth commando approach to this, and keep in mind that every automatic weapon, except for the heavy guns in this game, are covered by commando. So yes, we can actually stealth commando using a pistol, which is good stuff. But that was a good, decent VATS run on that guy, so we'll just try to keep ourselves in a position where we can see him still. He's probably going to be flying up this. Despite being a flying enemy, he's still, you know, constrained by normal pathing of legged enemies, so he's gonna have to take the long way around. So we'll push the advantage here and keep on hitting him like that. And it's working extremely well. We've managed to outflank a giant wasp, but he's going to get us soon enough and detect us, but that's okay because we know this thing can ragdoll, and that's exactly what we'll do. We'll send him to the depths of Davy Jones's locker. Try to get him to the bottom of that. Oh, this is so satisfying throwing him around. Ha ha ha. No, not on the rocks. Put him back in the ocean. Put him in the deep. In the deep. Now what we can do now is either A, try to go back into caution to maximize our sneak attack critical efficiency, or we could just keep taking pot shots at him whilst he is down and out, because right now he is of no threat to us, because whilst they're doing that little floating animation in the water, it takes them ages to, you know, unmess up themselves. And oh, he's got that flying thing above him. We've managed to bug out a few things here, but that's okay, because we can just easily cheese this fight by keeping on ragdolling him. Now, I've had a little bit of a think on how you could go about balancing this weapon, because, you know, far be it from me to call a weapon overpowered and unbalanced, but, you know, when a thing can just fire hit scan, frag grenades, and then you know, ragdoll everything that it hits. You know, it's a little bit over the top. So what I'm thinking is, since this weapon already uses, you know, custom ammunition in the terms of like its 9mm form, and where you going, mate? He's trying to retreat from battle, so I have to concede because he'll, you know, I'll lose him. But nah, that's not happening, pally. You're getting some of this. There we go. We'll even throw some criticals in there just to make sure of it, and that's some good crits right there. Once we're nice and close, we're gonna not get that penalty. But anyways, so I'm thinking what they could do is have different ammo types. So you have the 9mm normal stuff, but if you're using one of those explosive receivers, there we go, bit of nerd rage thing there. He almost got me, but not today, mate. First try. How's that make you feel, Mr. Stingling Terror? Yeah, so have like the normal ammo type and then the explosive ammo type, which you can use, which you can grab from the workbench like you would normally, but maybe it takes frag grenades to create, so you can't just create billions of these bullets if you've got a whole bunch of settlements linked up to, wow, infanticide. That's all of my war crimes I'm doing today. But yeah, make the ammo created out of frag grenades so you can't spam it, and give yourself a thing that can just ragdoll anyone at the push of a button, you know? But that's up to the modder if he by some cosmic coincidence happens to, you know, see this video and wants to get some suggestions on how to not improve it, or just some suggestions how to change a few things to make it slightly less crazily overpowered, but that's up to him. It's fine either way. This has been the Robocop gun. If you'd like to see this thing in your game, check out the link in the description. It shall be there. If there's an Xbox port, I'll be sure to link that as well. I think I've done another Robocop gun as part of the Beretta mod a while back, and this thing is vastly different, so whatever, I'll let it stand. Thank you very much for watching, guys.